Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GM Philosopher, and today we're talking about Nat 1s, fumbles. How do I handle them? This was prompted by a question, and I've got to give a shout out to Kyle Wright 9002, and I believe Kyle Wright has requested other videos in the past, so thank you Kyle for this request. Kyle said, video idea, what about Nat 1s that kill a character in a narrative situation and away from the party? Like when the party had more than 24 hours downtime and one character took a chance with an absurdly large anti-orbital warhead, and well, that's a 1. So this is a great question, and basically what I think Kyle Wright is asking is, what do you do about Nat 1s, especially in like high pressure situations and that kind of thing? And I'm just going to tell you, and this is very simple. So first of all, there are two different types of Nat 1s or fumbles in my experience. There are like kind of like basic ones that happen during a normal skill check or an attack roll, and then there are like high stakes Nat 1s that happen during, you know, bigger stakes situations, okay? And I treat these a little differently. During combat, the way that I handle Nat 1s nowadays is very simple. If you roll Nat 1 during combat, probably the enemy who is attacking you, the most obvious enemy, is going to get an extra attack against you. And I do the same thing with my enemy, like NPCs, the bad guys. If they roll Nat 1 against a player character, generally what happens is the player gets a free attack against them. It's like, oh, he slipped, prompting a free attack. Make your attack roll, right? So that's pretty much what I do. There are rare cases where I may do different things. Now, in normal, like skill check, let's say they're climbing a wall or trying to, you know, shimmy across a rope bridge or forge a document. Generally, a Nat 1 will have something to do with the check if it's not a super high stakes situation. So for example, if they're climbing up a wall, roll Nat 1, you slip and you start to fall, right? That kind of thing. Or, you know, if you're forging a document, you roll a Nat 1, you're concentrating so hard and you don't even realize that you're kind of putting a lot of pressure on your pen, and then you just kind of slip forward and you knock over your vial of ink. All of your ink spills all over the page. Now you have no ink and the page is ruined, right? So something like that will happen. With that being said, in high stakes situations, here's how I treat Nat 1s, fumbles, and this is probably different than a lot of people do it. I almost never random roll the results of fumbles in high pressure, high stakes situations. What I will do is I will basically kind of think of just very quickly, I'll think of something that could go really, really wrong. So like, let's say for example, that it's a very high stakes situation. Like someone is literally like in our question, trying to defuse a magical warhead, and it's right down to the wire and they're trying to figure out how to do it. And maybe if they roll a fumble, what's going to happen? Okay. So in my mind, the most likely scenario is going to be, it's going to go off, right? So that's the bad news. That's the bad news bears. Then I'll think to myself, okay, is there any possible chance that a critical fail will not result in this bad scenario? I'll roll percentiles in that case. I'll determine the possibility that is really bad or that is just like really bad, but not catastrophically bad. But generally speaking, I go with my first instinct. Like, what's the first thing you think of when something could go really wrong on a high stakes roll and then the player rolls Nat 1, fumbles it? What's the worst that could happen? Now, obviously there are cases where Nat 1s don't apply. For example, the halfling race has the trait where they can re-roll Nat 1s. And so this makes it a lot easier for halflings to get away with these types of things. I do honor anything like that that'll help players get out of a Nat 1. I kind of let them honor it. However, if they do come up with a Nat 1, I'm generally going to go with my first instinct, and it's probably going to be really bad. I'm not really afraid of punishing. And when I say punish, I don't mean punish in like a vindictive way, but I mean punishing the group for having extremely bad luck and rolling an Nat 1. Because in my experience, sometimes these cases turn out to be some of the best role-playing opportunities, and they give the most bizarre and meaningful story transitions and arcs. Sometimes they lead to player deaths. Sometimes they lead to NPC deaths, like meaningful NPCs. And these can have built within them a lot of opportunity for role play. So yeah, that's what I do. That's how I handle it. And let me know what you think. How do you handle Nat 1s in your games? Drop a comment, let me know. And if you have a request, drop that, let me know. Give me that thumbs up and subscribe. I'm here almost every day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.